Good day everyone, this is Patrick from EasyFX Code Training System, and it's Sunday the 1st of September 2019, and this is the weekly analysis for the Euro, Cable and the Aussie dollar. Let's start with a recap of the Euro dollar, and you can see that it has been weakening throughout the week after testing this intermediate resistance level. And on Friday it fell below the 110 critical support level, and with fears of the Eurozone economic outlook, especially with Germany's economy nearing recession, and it fell below to hit the weekly S3 pivot level before closing back up at the 138 Fibonacci extension level. I have redrawn the Fibonacci reversal setup from the previous swing low here, and if further bearish movement continues, then it could target the 109, just above 109 at 109.18 for the 162 Fibonacci extension level. So we can discuss that in the weekly Ichimoku analysis as well. But if we switch to the 4-hour chart, you can see that this was a late drop during the US trading session on Friday night, although it recovered somewhat towards the end of the day. So this week there's only a few news coming up from the Eurozone, with manufacturing PMIs on Monday and services PMIs on Wednesday. But the key news event will be from the US side, with Friday's non-farm payroll report. So that will be a key event for all the major pairs. Let's switch to the cable. And the cable as well has been, after hitting this upper trend line, we have drawn a slightly bullish channel, and it has fallen to hit the weekly S1 pivot by the end of the week. So I've added this channel here to see whether it's possible to bounce for next week and recover somewhat, or whether if it breaks, then it could be a retest of the 121 support level, then with further downside to the 1.2. But the key news last week was the UK government requesting for an extension of the suspension of Parliament, or the restart of Parliament after their autumn break, till mid-October, and this was granted by the Queen. And there was concerns that with this reduced number of days for Parliament, that there could be higher risk of a no-deal Brexit. On the other hand, the UK Prime Minister Johnson is arguing that it will help to focus their efforts so that they do get a Brexit deal. So anyway, the countdown is nearing to the October 31st deadline. So we'll see how he can negotiate a better deal, which is with the Eurozone. All right, let's go to the forward chart, and yes, it has been trading in this new channel. On the weekly chart, after the bullish week, the previous week, it has retraced, so we'll see whether it's able to recover and climb back up towards the monthly pivot, but we'll see where the new monthly pivot is going to be at the start of Monday. Alright, let's move on to the Aussie dollar. And yes, for the cable for this week, there is only the PMIs, 3 PMIs for the week, the manufacturing, construction, and services PMIs on the first 3 days of the week. But there is also on Wednesday night, there is inflation report hearings. So we'll see whether there's any significant outcome from that as well. But they will also be exposed to the key news events on Friday from the US with the non-farm payroll report. And moving on to the Aussie dollar. Similarly, after a bullish recovery from the Aussie dollar the previous Friday, or previous Monday, sorry, on the early start of the week, after the trade war tensions, tit for tat issues between US and China, it has retraced back lower, and I've drawn this new triangle for consolidation, and it almost retested the 0.67 level where it spiked through earlier Monday, but then recovered back up to close at the 138 Fibonacci extension level of this reversal. So it's sitting at previous support, but not sure whether it's going to be resistance. If it can climb back up, then the support is still valid. So we'll see how it goes for this week. There is a key RBA rate news coming up on Tuesday, so that will be a very critical one, as all its neighbors New Zealand has already cut rates earlier ahead of Australia, and we shall see whether there will be any rate cut from the RBA, but they are not expected to at this time. But it's still going to be a key event. Prior to that, a couple hours before that, there's Australian retail sales figures, and apart from that, there's also GDP figures the following day on Wednesday, and also they will be exposed to the US non-farm payroll on Friday night. And other than the US non-farm payroll, there is ISM manufacturing PMIs coming out on Tuesday night. And on Monday, there's a holiday in the US, which is a Labor Day. So the key event will be towards the end of the week with non-farm payroll. All right, so we'll cover dollar yen and spot gold in a separate video. So meanwhile, have a good trading week and cheers.